I did not realize that I could actually go live on YouTube. You know what? I'm gonna just jump right into it. I'm struggling. I don't. This is for me at this point because I don't have a therapy session for quite so many weeks. And when I tell you, I have been trying to work, and I can't think. The only I'm not even joking about what I put in the description. The only thing I can think about is talking about how I'm feeling. I can't concentrate. My job is challenging to say the least, and I'm responsible for problem solving, and I just can't. And I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if this is something I can even do anymore. Um, I don't know. I'm 53. I've been in my career for over 25 years, and I don't know that I want to do this anymore. I don't know that I can. I don't know that I have the energy, the mental energy. And I think my job has just taken it all out of me. I mean, I'm at the point now where I'm taking medication and I'm very open about it, because I want people to be aware of their mental health. You know what I'm saying? I want people to not suffer in silence because I don't think that's necessary if you don't have to, right? So I take Prozac. I started off my psychiatrist. Let me back up. I had a nervous breakdown. Well, you know what? Let me stop calling it that. I didn't have a nervous breakdown. I had an anxiety attack that I'd never had one before. And this happened last year in August 7th, while I was trying to kind of talk one of my stakeholders for one of my cases off of a ledge. I thought she was going to commit suicide. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know how to really handle it, as if I had just hung up the phone, because my job is all about data and numbers, and the faster you do something. And I was more concerned about making sure that that wasn't on my conscience, that she did not unalive herself on my watch. So I just was on the phone with her for a significant period of time. And then when I hung up, I was just left sitting there in we're back in the office, hybrid. And I couldn't move. I couldn't think. I couldn't pray correctly. I couldn't do anything. And all I kept actually just saying, although my only prayer at that time, because I actually felt like I was getting ready to walk out into traffic and just, forget it. And I wasn't having those thoughts, but there was just this feeling inside of me. This was, I was not okay. And that call just threw me over the edge. And my only prayer at the time was, Lord, don't let the devil kill me. And so quietly, as God does in his infinite wisdom, I just immediately went on leave of absence. I had no thought for money or I couldn't, my job is my only source of income at this point, and I couldn't think of the only thing I didn't want to have happen is I did not want my mother and my son and my family to learn that I got so tired that that was enough. I didn't want to do that to my family. And so as God would have it, my spirit was calmed. I wasn't even supposed to have a psychiatrist appointment because I had already scheduled one, because I was already feeling very overwhelmed at work. Again, my job is very difficult. I'm an ER specialist, and dealing with other people's problems all day and knowing that you can't really solve them because they don't want you to solve them, is challenging. It's difficult. And so I called the psychiatrist's office, Blueprint Psychiatry. You call them if you need a referral for a psychiatrist. And I called them, and they were actually, somebody had canceled an appointment. So I was able to get in the next day. Okay. So, I mean, again, my appointment was weeks away. I didn't know it was this bad. I really didn't. And for transparency, my son passed away a couple of years ago. And that still it still hurts. And when I was in the psychiatrist's office, I kind of did what I'm doing now when she was talking to me, because I like to think I'm always in control. But in that moment, when I was sitting in that office, I knew I was not in control. I knew that this strong Black woman, and I hate that moniker. I've got to be very honest. I'm so sick of being called strong because it doesn't give you license to be vulnerable. And I don't like not having the freedom to feel how I feel. And I don't think that's fair. And in that moment, I didn't have any choice. So it wasn't up to me as to whether or not I I was in control or not. I was not in control. So the Lord got me to the psychiatrist's office. I had to actually drive there for this first visit because that's what my leave of absence required, that I had to have my first visit in person. And I was just sitting there talking. And again, I'm very poised, and I'm not, all the way nuts. Not that that's the thing, but she asked me when I started talking about my son, I think she just saw something flip inside of me. And then I was just telling her, and I think I do remember, I think I just began to kind of to cry, and just the weight of everything just started to really get to me, just the pressures of my job. And she says to me, because they'd have you fill out this little survey before you go and speak to the psychiatrist. And so I filled out the survey, and she looks at me and she says, Tashana, you're not as well as you think you are. And the kind of logical side of me, the smart side, the intellectual college graduate, professional business person side of me wanted to say, what the hell? What do you mean I'm not? There's something. I didn't. I wanted to hear somebody say that there was something wrong with me, because I genuinely felt like something was wrong with me. And I didn't want to hear somebody else say, well, you got this. I don't have it. If I had heard one more person tell me I got this, I think I would have just lost it, because I didn't have it. I didn't. And that's okay. I'm coming to grips with that. It is, I just had another birthday, and thank God. And one of the things that one of the revelations I kind of got, and I've been brooding over this for a while, is that I no longer care about anybody's opinion. Nobody's. I used to care quite a bit about, what my mother thought and what my kids thought and what my church thought. And now I just don't give a damn. I mean, not that I'm disrespectful or anything, not that, but I'm at a point now where I'm going to say how I feel. And I'm going to stop pretending like I have it all together, because I don't. And if I did, I wouldn't be in some of the situations I'm in. So there's that. And that's just pretending. And I'm just really sick of this cycle and this existence of pretend normalcy. It's not normal to be this overwhelmed. It's not normal to sit in front of your computer at work and not be able to even do what you've been doing for years, because your job, you're being micromanaged, and they're pushing you out. And I am being pushed out of my job. There's just no doubt about that. It's just the way they work. And it's just a lot. I was diagnosed with anxiety disorder, grief disorder, and severe depression. So she put me on Prozac. So I had this, she started off at 10 milligrams, I think, where it might have been 20 milligrams, I believe, 20 milligrams of Prozac. And then over the course of, it's not been quite a year yet, it's increased twice. That's how stressful things continue to be. And it's getting worse at my employer. My job is literally causing my mental breakdown. It is. And there's just no other way to just define that. I mean, there's no other way to say it. My psychiatrist even said it. And, she just said, you have to leave. But that's just not as easy as people make it sound. I'm 53 years old, and I've been in my profession for a long time, and I'm not cheap, so, and my cost of living is not cheap. So it's a struggle. And I do have a very strong faith, But even those of us who are believers in Christ, even we suffer with our carnal selves. So stop believing that just because somebody says they're a Christian, that they have everything under control. That is so not the narrative that the Lord wanted us to walk into. Because if that was the case, we wouldn't need him. We wouldn't need Christ. We wouldn't need prayer. We wouldn't need any of the things that we're dealing with if we were just so phenomenally great as soon as we accepted the Lord and Savior as our Christ. I mean, come on. It's just not how any of this works. I mean, Christ suffered. So my mentor, William Edmonds, used to tell me, whenever I had a problem, he would say to me, let me go and get Jesus down off the cross. And that was just his very kind way. God rest his soul. That was his very kind way of saying, your problem's not as big as you think it is. It is just bigger than you want it to be. And I have lived with that learning and that tutelage for many, many years. And I'm just at a very interesting cul-de-sac in my life. Well, no, I won't call it a cul-de-sac because a cul-de-sac doesn't go anywhere. So I am at a crossroads. I don't know that what I've been doing my whole life is what I should continue to be doing in order to take me to another level, because I don't feel like I belong where I am. Okay. I feel like an outcast. I don't feel engaged. I don't feel like I know anything. I'm really genuinely starting to judge myself harshly to the point where I feel like I don't even qualify for my job. Mind you, again, I've been doing this job for a very long time. I've been doing it where I am for 4 years, but I've been in, human resources for over 20. So I've been doing this job for a while. I'm a people person by nature, by nature and design, honestly. I'm a great problem solver. I'm an excellent writer. And these aren't just things that I've said myself. These are things that were told to me over the years. I've helped people write their dissertations. I've helped people write resumes. I have a freelance writing business that I don't really drum up that much because writing has also taken its toll on me since my son passed. I kind of stopped writing. And now I'm just kind of getting back into the groove of things. So I have some things in the works that I'm really excited about. But there's this other thing that is just brooding, and it's eating at me. And I have literal anxiety attacks about thinking about talking to my manager, about working, I'm literally looking at the screen thinking, I can't do this. And I know I don't look like I'm not well. I know I don't present myself to be in any kind of a bind or anything, but please, please, please stop judging people by the way they look or what you see or what they drive. It doesn't matter. Robin Williams unalived himself. A lot of famous rich people who were adored by millions and millions the world over lost themselves in somebody else's opinion. And I'm just thankful that the only thing that makes me different from them is that I thought about it once many, many years ago, and I made a promise to God to never have those thoughts again. And then if I did, to make sure that I do something about them. Now, I've had a therapist since my marriage broke up 5 or 6 years ago. So I've had a therapist that I've seen, just on and off about my marriage. But the blow after my son passed away, everything just kind of stood still. I'm even really still now, just having a very difficult time with timelines, right? Like I don't remember if he's been gone a year or if he's been gone 2 years. I have to consciously and very intentionally remind myself and go actually look at it. He passed in 2022, October 29th. And ever since then, I've just been kind of existing. I have to be very honest with myself. I've been just existing. And the only thing that has just really been going very well is my health, which is a great, right? Because your health is your first environment. And when you want to change anything, you have to change your immediate environment. And my immediate environment, obviously, is my body. So I've lost a significant amount of weight, like 130 pounds in the last couple of years. And my home is my sanctuary. So I've got, you'll see jars behind me. Those are prayer jars. That's like my gratefulness jar in the middle. And that one over there, that's my future husband jar, but we're not praying for that anymore. So, so that's a wrap. That'll come at a later time. But yeah, so I don't want to talk forever and ever and ever, but I just needed to get it out and just, if anybody stumbles across this, it's okay that you're not okay. And just because you're 50 or 51 or 45 or 20, it doesn't make a difference. If you don't feel well mentally, I don't care how you look, I don't care how well people tell you you're doing and how strong you are because you're a Black woman and you're supposed to be, screw all of that. Okay, screw it all. Stop listening to people cheerlead you on when you're not feeling like you're winning. You're not. And it's okay, because you have to get to a place where you're vulnerable enough to say, I don't have this, and ask for help. Okay, so don't be afraid to ask for help. And again, I'm doing this for me because I'm probably going to come back to this at some point and say, hey, Tashana, you need to remind yourself the hole you dug yourself out of and what you did to do that. And I'm trying to get there. And it's just made the most sense to me at the moment because I've just been having such a hard day. It's Monday. And it was just a lot to get out of bed this morning. My medication keeps me pretty even keeled, so I can feel the pain behind my eyes, but I don't cry. I don't, that's what this medication does. It's really weird to say that, but I can feel myself. If I didn't have the medication, I'd probably have lost it. I gotta be honest. I don't think I would have had the mental awareness to not have my mind just kind of unravel. And again, I'm a believer, and my prayer is always, Lord, don't let the devil kill me, and don't let me be my undoing. Okay, so that's my prayer for anybody who stumbles across this. It's just, let's just keep each other uplifted and in prayer. And there's so much going on in the world, and sometimes you have to turn those things off because you have to protect your first environment, which is yourself. Okay, so I'm going to go attempt to do some work. I'm going to try. Hopefully this, I even did some arm lifts. I was doing just kind of everything. I was asking myself, okay, are you hungry? Because I eat well. So I had a protein bowl, and I had a avocado toast for breakfast. And most mornings I eat yogurt and granola. And so I'm like, I'm not hungry, I'm not dehydrated. And so I just started doing some curls in my living room. I haven't been to the gym in a while, so I just work from home. I work out at home. And so I just got my my heart rate up just a little bit. And then I just was kind of led to sit here and do this because my mic is on my table. and I'm like, okay, well, why not? Let me be my own therapist for a while. And if somebody wants to join in, if somebody wants to help or needs support, maybe we can just lift each other up. How about that? So that's all I have, and that's enough. So thank you. If you happen to come across it, leave a comment, subscribe, like. Again, I'm doing this for me and for others who just don't know what to say. Okay, remember to take care of your first environment, yourself. All right, thank you. I'm trying to get rid of this too.